All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I absorb all of that information. I pull away and drop his big meaty paws. And I say, well, it's not with you now, necessarily, but I can tell it tried to take you, and I was there when it took Myru. It should have worked in theory, but it didn't. It tried to take you, but something about how that was different. Us being there, and there's something else involved that pulled us in and orchestrated it. That we were able to help protect you.
I thought it was a dream at first. The fact that Steve doesn't remember any of this made it seem so imaginary, but now knowing that you all remember it too worries me a great deal of not only what is waiting for us in Casimir, but what it's going to do to you, to my friends. I don't want you all to be affected by what has come of my people.
Well, we want to support you. Of course we do, but we all have our reasons for being here, right? And I feel the need to right this wrong because curiosity has affected my people, and not just affects me, but affects everything. So I wouldn't worry, really. I won't speak for the others, but I wouldn't worry for me.
Whether it was creations of my own mind or your actual beings being there, I know that you being there and everyone else being there helped keep them at bay from taking me. And I just want to express my appreciation for everything you all have done for me.
Esther will sort of flatten her lips and she'll say, well, I don't remember the dream either, but from what I could tell based on your memories and Sharp's, I definitely was there, and I definitely helped. And she sounds maybe a little nervous and definitely a little upset by the fact that she cannot remember this at all. But she knows it happened. She's got 2 versions of confirmation in front of her. She's like, so of course, yeah, even if I can't remember it, I'm happy to help.
So
I think it was that you were all in my heart when that happened, and you are always with me and helping me. And he's kind of looking at all 3 of you that are standing by.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, I don't know if Steve is...
Well, Steve bangs pots.
He's making his
and Gunnolf, whatever.
And Gunnolf is, yeah.
Gunnolf refuses to wake up.
Wait, hold on. Where's Wolf?
Yeah, where is Wolf, by the way? Wolf was not in the boys' dorm?
Wolf was not in the boys' dorm. Wolf wanted to sleep where he's most comfortable, which was outside.
Oh, okay, all right.
He gone.
Yep.
But I don't know if anybody ever described to me that Wolf was in the dream, though. So I'm having a hard time as the player giving a shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but in theory, yeah. I mean, I guess he was there. Some familiarity of family, I guess. It's whatever.
Okay, I'm not focused on that
sleeping
right now.
He's outside. He's sleeping. He'll find you guys sooner.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that right now. As much as I love these beautiful, emotional discussion about friendship and shit, I'm like, well, we do have a strong bond, and the bond is very important to the people of my people in the Grove, in the Heartwood. But no, I think there's something a bit more physical than that. It could be the blood bond tying us together. It could be something else. I get the sensation that there's something else. I think that it's all very interconnected. I don't remember the dream, and I'm having to piece everything together from memories and feelings, and I'm sorry.
Albus kind of looks down at his paw as you're mentioning the blood bond. He goes, yes, that makes sense. Have you explored anybody else's memories?
No. I guess Rosalind doesn't, and I look to Rosalind, and I say, well, we don't have that yet, so it felt intrusive. I guess I could ask Steve. And I kind of peer into the kitchen where he's, a billow of smoke is erupting from the stove. And,
Fire alarms are going off.
He's cooking great up there.
Yeah.
Beam.
Don't forget the sleeping guy.
And the sleeping guy upstairs.
And the sleeping guy, but he's asleep, and my brother's not here, and I don't even know what the hell role he had. I got the sensation that family was there, but, Fast and the Furious style family, I don't know.
Is Gunolf still passed out upstairs, or is he awoken by now? And
Yes.
So,
downstairs?
speaking of Gunolf, you've obviously had a rather up and down night. There's been a lot going inside Gunolf's head, and you went from this like feeling of not acting, not taking action, this dance floor, to being pulled into this melee, a dance of a different kind, if you will. This crazy hectic battle where you were sort of fighting for your life. As you find yourself kind of shunted out of that, as resolution came to that dream space, you found yourself sort of drifting almost unattached for that briefest of moments, but that familiar kind of clanging sound kept resonating, and in that sort of quiet, silent void of a dreamscape, you latched on to the sound. You focused on it. You followed it.
Mm-hmm.
And you found yourself walking. At first, it felt like you were walking through nothingness, through darkness, through shadow, but you could feel objects around you. They were there. They were tangible. And eventually, light filters in through this place. There are sorry, my phone's beeping because my cat has their foot in the bowl, and it thinks that she's eating. So as you're walking through the shadow, there is this fading in. It's subtle at first. It's orange. It's like candlelight, till you realize that it isn't just candles. There's a smell. It's smoke. It's iron. It's a it's the smell. Some of the smells, they burn, they sting, chemical almost. This is a workshop of some kind, and the glow of candles that have burned for no idea how big these candles were, but a lot of them are just piles of wax on piles of wax, sitting on top of forges, furnaces, billows, work tables. So much of it is metal and all of this stuff. And as you're walking through this, you follow the sound until you find yourself up in front of this forge, a grand forge of some kind. It almost looks, in your mind's eye, like a throne without a seat. It is vast. The pipes, the tubes, the glow of the heated pipes where smoldering bits seem to go from there. It's almost like a wall, a ceiling, a cathedral of so much artifice and industry. And all of it comes down into this singular forge where you see this small kind of reptilian creature, old, the hints of maybe femininity to it, but it's hard to tell because it's so I don't know, it's covered in soot. It is almost, who or what it is almost doesn't matter, is what it's doing. And what it's doing is hammering away at something. The rhythmic sound that you've been following, just ping, 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 and you can just, you hear it. It resonates. It's more than hearing. It vibrates almost like through you. There is purpose and intention in what this being is doing as it works. And I guess the question is, like, what do you do? Do you approach? Do you turn away?
I approach.
Okay. And as you approach it, you walk up these steps. You can see the candles of many nights spent working far later than they should be. You can, the light of the forge itself, and you eventually approach the forge and the small little wizened being that runs it. And they have a tongs, they have a hammer, and they strike down, and as you approach, you take that final step. It's almost like you pass a threshold that garners their attention. The pinging stops, and they look up to you, and there's an acknowledgement, a sort of looking you up and down, taking an appraisal of you. And there's a bit of a nod before they take the they take the tongs, they take the hammer, they spin the hammer, and they hold it out to you.
I'll take the hammer.
Okay. You take the hammer, and they then pass you the tongs. And I assume you take those as well.
Mm-hmm.
As you do, they sort of take a step back, and you find yourself looking at what they've been working on. And there's a moment of uncertainty. It's very dreamlike in that you find yourself looking at this molten something. Your mind tries to place what it is, but you can't recognize it. And it's that moment in the dream where you recognize that you have to decide what this is. This is up to you. What is being made, what is being forged in this place. And at that, as you're coming to this realization, an image kind of begins to take form in your head of what this is, what it's supposed to be. What are you working on? So I guess the question is, Gunnulf, what is this thing that you're, what is it? What is the project? What is the invention? What is the creation that Gunnulf is working towards?
I suppose the answer would be is Gunnulf's own divine forge. So I think is the name that I determined was kind of what we would call it is a forge that he upon the mastery of the class is this is what he's been leading up to. This is his moment. What he needs to the threshold by which it goes from stuff that he's making into like the next level, something that is it creates so much more and it works so much better. Or
Well, but what is like, you are in so many ways within the Forge. You've attained the right to step into a place where you can make something greater than you would have anticipated before. The question is, what does Gunnulf want to make? What does he want to build?
I suppose the first answer is in his mind, the first thing that pops into head is the thing that he's been working on since he's known Kestrel. He wants to break the shackles. He wants to make something that is something to effectively just she's no longer bound to the prison. She is going to be breaking, effectively, in so many words, breaking her shackles.
And as you think about like breaking the shackles, you can feel that there's a purity here in this place where the thing that you're holding, white hot and smoldering, it is a thing to be made, not a thing to break. And even looking around the room, you can see that, and they weren't so noticeable at first, but here at the precipice, the noise of the room, from a visual standpoint, all the pipes, all the tubes, you recognize that this is not just a place of, like, not all of this is the Forge. There are parts of this place at your feet. There are places tucked into the corners. There are cast-offs of countless creations here. This is not just a place where masterpieces are forged. This is a place where things that are imperfect are also made, and they are added to the totality of this place just the same as the master forges and the master works. This is a place of pure creation, and such a place that it's not about what you're tearing down, it's about what you want to make going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is not what are you trying to destroy, because destroying happens whether you want it to or not during a quest to create. The question is, what are you trying to make? What is Gunnulf trying to make? And you can feel some semblance of this being, this wizened creature, appraising Gunnulf in this moment, as he has the tools, but he's still trying to figure out what to make. There's sort of a pregnant pause as it watches Gunnulf and takes in what his choices are.
Well, I suppose in my mind's eye, it's not about breaking it. He will start to make it, I don't know, more beautiful. Make it into something that isn't necessarily shackles. Maybe, for, an example, make it into bangles, a bracelet.
And as Gunnulf sits and begins to play with the ideas in his head. There's a look upon the wizened creature's face as it meets his gaze, and it looks at him, and it sort of nods, and it just nods slowly in sort of a way as to say, not yet. And with that, you find yourself coming to awake.
Mhm.
You're in your bed. You're a weird dream, for sure. But you can't help but feel incomplete to some degree, as though you still have something you have to decide. But you're alone in the room. No one's there at all, which is a little
Mhm.
weird. Yeah.
And it's
And-
burning down.
Yeah, no.
It's burning down.
But yeah, there are some scratches on the floor. You notice that because they weren't there before when you went to sleep.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
seems
you-
like it's time to get going somewhere. I'm already up late. I'm usually one working. For some reason, I slept in today. And I had this. I remember this weird dream, and I remember all of it.
Yeah,
Well, speaking of making things, Steve, I'm gonna need a roll for flapjacks.
Yeah.
If I'll come to this. What is the roll? Dex?
Let's Dex. I agree. You've got to flip them. Dex and oh boy, is double Dex too insane for flapjacks?
Not
It's
willpower.
discretion, and I'm
Will-
using discretion.
Willpower. We're okay.
I
he's
mean,
doing Dex and Dex.
okay.
I would say insight maybe because you'd have to know when to flip and
I
flap.
mean, he's have a strong willpower to flip. the
And to
pancake.
flip and flap.
You rolled a 1 and a 9. Do you
And a
want to
9,
keep that,
buddy.
or do you
Well,
want
no,
to?
well, you said Dex and Insight, right? Actually,
Let's do Dex and Insight.
I'm gonna throw that
No.
roll away. Hey,
Okay.
I dodged. I fucking dodged.
You dodged, yeah.
The bad flapjacks.
The bad flapjacks, yeah. They went up, and you were like,
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me. Is that pretty good? Is that where you want to be?
Dex and let me see. What are the? I mean a 13. Okay, so a 7 and a 6. I mean, yeah, I maxed out 1, and I tell you what, I'm gonna put a little bit of special extra love on it.
Okay.
Don't make it sound gross, and I'm gonna add my bond with Albus, level 1. So, it's a 14.
Now, Albus, I did say earlier you're keeping an eye on things, so I'll have you roll a Dex and Insight as well. We'll see if you get over a 10.
Okie dokie. Dex Insight.
Hmm.
He's too distracted by
Yeah.
all
Wow.
this dream nonsense.
There was a
He's
lot
gotta
going
focus
on.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, you definitely rolled a 1 in there.
Yep,
so-
I sure did.
Do you want to
Oh,
keep
did
it?
you get my Fabula point?
I'm going to spend my Fabula point to re-roll that D8. Okay, better.
Okay. That'd be an 11.
Yes.
Oh, these are really the best pancakes. But only
So-
for Albus.
They are actually really good. Despite what you think was like smoke and a couple other things, you guys are getting a little nervous at some point. Eventually the smell wafts in, and it's phenomenal, actually. Like just the cinnamon, the raisin, you're like, man, especially like Kestrel, you've never had whatever these are before, but they do smell pretty good. Like it's almost like you can taste them already, because that is kind of how cinnamon works. But I don't know how you could smell them. It doesn't matter. But anyway, you're there. You can smell it. It's delicious. So, Steve eventually starts trying to like he's getting them all set aside on like a plate or whatever. And it would be at this point that Gunolf would come down. But we can wait till Doug gets back.
He went back to sleep.
Sharp doesn't smell anything.
He's gonna go have a fourth
I
dream.
can dream, but I can't smell.
It's true. If they were to like powderize the pancakes and let you smoke them, that could work.
Smelling.
Smoke
Roll
those
it up
flapjacks.
and
It's a hookah.
Yeah.
Doug, we
Some good flapjack, bro.
We spent 2 Fabula points.
Yes.
Gunolf, you eventually head downstairs and you arrive in time to see Penn coming around from the kitchen. He's got a plate full of flapjacks. They smell really good. You can hear Steve yammering away in the back about how they're the best pancakes in the world. Steve, who taught you how to make those pancakes?
One of the taverns, actually very early in my journey. This was when I was still like a guard, and before I even like started on the adventure. I just always, these go back to my family. But I only made enough for 3 people.
You only made enough for 3 people?
You said there wasn't a lot of raisins, and I said I was going to make it for Albus and Gunolf. I didn't know
Wow.
Everybody gets half a pancake.
Sorry,
Oh my
So-
I walk
god.
out and be surprised that there's so many people here. Oh God! Sorry.
And Penn,
Get back
as you
in the
were
kitchen.
as you were doing that, Penn started cooking up some eggs, and there is enough for everyone to have half a pancake and some eggs.
Well, I want Albus to have 4. We can all split like one of the pancakes, and then I want Albus to get the rest. It was mostly for Albus.
Okay.
That's okay. I'll omit my pancakes. I'll just have eggs.
No, you can have 1 bite.
No, it's okay.
You can have one half of a bite.
And at this point, Wolf comes in from the outside, and he's looking kind of rested, and he's just like, something smells good. He's sniffing around.
Sorry, you can't have any. There's not enough. But you can have some eggs.
And he goes, "Oh yes, these eggs, they smell good." And you can tell he seems to have only cared about the eggs to begin with.
Oh, great! What a relief.
What a relief.
I would like to turn to Wolf and ask, Wolf, did you not hunt?
Did I not hunt?
Yes.
Well, I smelled these here, and I have heard that this breakfast that you all have is so important. Would you like me to get something?
There's not a lot of food here.
There is not. Much of the things to hunt are very small, but I could easily get you something, little sister.
Okay. Oh, maybe we hunt later. Also, I got a quick question. Did you like have a dream by the way? I just out of curiosity. Sorry, the bad word.
The word again.
That's the word. It's the bad word.
And he goes, I do think so. I was hunting many things. I think creatures in the woods, and then in a place, some other place. But I was fierce as always.
Okay, but I wasn't there, and I also wasn't like a child, right?
These are strange questions, little bird, but no, I do not recall this.
Okay.
If you're asking about the dream, this I remember everything about my dream.
Would you like to share? Because I am
Yes,
asking out
yes.
loud.
Yes, I would absolutely like to share.
Really quick. Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Going even from the beginning of the dream of the call to action, the why didn't you dance, to taking up Albus's hand onto my own, becoming his left hand man because it's my left hand, and even having a bit of the tiger, and also you being a child in this dream, Miss Marie Sharp being a human, Steve emanating darkness.
Oh.
And Rosalind being mostly the same, except perhaps a little bit more focused or distracted by thoughts of even sister. I don't know. I wouldn't even know if I venture in that far. But these, and a wolf feeling like he was pulled in, like he did not anticipate being part of this, but he was pulled in, and I don't know if it was against his will, but he was there and he was assisting us.
And you're sharing all of that out loud, right?
Absolutely, I am.
Wonderful. I'm gonna look at Gunolf and say, you don't feel weird, do you, right now, right? Just feel okay?
I feel fine. There's a little bit more to the dream that happened after that, but I feel like that's not relevant to this conversation. So
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I feel like we should all sit down and have breakfast and talk about it together. I think that's a good idea. Wolf,
Okay.
come sit down. We'll hunt later. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, he'll pull up a chair or a stool. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna take a seat at the table. I don't know if this food being sort of brought
Food
out.
is being brought out and passed around. If some of you are at the bar or some of you pick up at a table, I don't think there's enough seats at the bar for all of you.
I was sitting at the bar, but I'll pick up my plate and I'll walk it over to wherever Kestrel sat down and go and sit down next to, at the table.
Okay.
Do they got like a big round table around here somewhere, or like a long one? Okay,
Yeah, they got a big round table. Yeah.
We should post up there.
Okay.
This is important.
I was gonna say, if it's at the bar, I can stand.
Gunolf also has.
You're just all moody, aren't you, Sharp? You're just kind of hanging out, just leaning against the wall.
I'm sorry.
I dream now. What's up?
What's up?
I didn't catch what you said, Sean.
Gunolf also has a full helping of pancake.
Oh,
thank you.
That was the.
Mm-hmm.
It is important.
But-
We're too busy talking over you and bantering.
But the thing, Kestrel, is you were there, but you were in two parts. Like you and your Kestrel form,
My kin spirit.
your kin spirit. Thank you. You were separate. Wolf was there, and Wolf was, as we know him to be, one and the same. But you, while you were a child, your kin spirit was separated from you. It's not like you were the same being.
Oh. And this sounds a little familiar almost, because it reminds me of what it feels like to be in my own spirit lands, right? Like I'm very separate from her usually these days, so that sounds very familiar to me. And it gives me a little bit of pause. Are we all kind of at the table, or are we all fucking around? Like, are we having a public conversation with everybody present, or?
I hope so.
I think
Okay,
so.
I also fucking hope so, but I just wanted to check.
Yes.
Okay.
Even Wolf is there, and even Wolf gives a bit of an eyebrow raise at the talk that you and your kin spirit are not together very much. But he doesn't say anything.
Yeah. I kind of side eye him. I say nothing, and I'm like, so that's interesting. So and Sean isn't here because I'd love to involve Steve in this also because he hasn't sort of been recapped yet. He's been cooking pancakes, the best pancakes ever. Welcome back, Sean.
There he is.
But he can't hear us yet. Oh, okay, there's Sean. Hi.
Welcome back, Sean.
Sean.
Okay, so because we're diving into it right now, and I'm like, okay, so I just like to, since not everybody's been present, we've been having a lot of separate conversations right now. I just feel like it's important that we're all on the same page right now. So I guess I'll start. It sounds like a lot of us had a lot of the same dream. Steve, it doesn't sound like you remember having a dream, right?
Really? Visions. And he doesn't want to really go into super, like, I have these dreams about, like, murder. So he's just gonna be like, not really worth note, nothing out of normal. Why?
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay, so it sounds like I don't remember it, and it doesn't sound like you remember it, but we were all kind of in the same dream last night, and I know this, and I can see this. I see the look on your face. I'm getting there. So Sharp approached me this morning, said that she had a dream. I've said this a few times already, but that's not normal because she's dead and doesn't sleep. So, and then I touched her hand, and I did that blood bond thing, and I searched her memories and feelings and stuff, and I was definitely there, and I looked like the way I did in my dream. By the way, I don't remember any of this besides maybe having another nightmare of my own. That's not important. What's important was I was a child, but she remembers that I was a child. So when I go and I ask Albus, hey, did you have a dream? And he also remembers that I'm a child. It really sounds like we all kind of had the same dream. And also curiosity is involved. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Buried the lead a bit on that one, I think.
Sorry, I just, I'm really trying. I'm not a good public speaker. And Rosalind's, we're all there. We're all there, it sounds like. Wolf doesn't remember. And, oh God, what else? Oh, this is new. Also, the whole kin spirit thing, that's definitely, what my spirit lands feels like. I am not one with my kin spirit. So it makes me wonder if maybe this isn't a regular dream, and if in fact we were in the spirit lands. So I have some concerns there. And also I checked with Albus, and he's fine, but curiosity was definitely trying to take control of him. So, but we're good because we were all there, and we protected him in his sleep, and that might be because of the blood bond, but I definitely get the feeling it was something else too. Did I get everything?
There's a look of bewilderment on Wolf's
sure
face.
Hope so.
I think so.
Albus just has a whole mouthful of pancakes. Go,
Wolf's not touching his food at this point because now he's looking at you worried, and at Albus worried, and at like everybody at the table worried.
Yeah, so we buried the lead there again. You being seen as a child, happenstance, not a big deal, really.
No, it's important, I promise.
Well, I think the important part is you feeling curiosity, because I trust you. If you say you felt him, then I believe that you felt him, and that, along with all of you having similar dream at the same time, makes me wonder if it was a shared dreamscape or some other plane that you were brought to. Unsettling for sure. Albus, this seems to have something in common with the dream that you had. I suppose I should apologize. I just brushed it off, thought it was a regular dream. Sounds like there's a bit more to it.
It seems to be that my dream was the focal point for everyone else. It was directly related to all of my concerns and worries, and I don't know why. I don't know why everyone was brought into my dream in the first place, but it worries me that some can and some can't remember it.
And with a pointed look in Gunoff's direction, Roz will say, and one person remembers it quite vividly, which is also unusual. Any ideas why that's the case?
Well, to say that that's the only thing that happened in my dream would be a mistake, because after I can assume the dream ended, I had a bit of a lucid dream. And it seems I have some answers that I need to source out on my own. But I dreamed of the Grand Forge, and it seems like there's something there, but maybe that's why I remember it so vividly, because I remember that that's not where my journey ended, and maybe that's why, with the bit of the lucid dream that I had, why I remember so much.
Okay, but in your descriptions then, regardless of how you remember this, you mentioned Steve engulfed in darkness, Kestrel split into two forms, and Wolf being pulled in at some point. And those are the three who do not remember the dream. Are we to read anything into that?
Yes,
Perhaps.
You mentioned pulling. Wolf was pulled. You said who was pulled into your dream? We all start there. To Roz's point, word pull is very interesting.
It seemed like that I journeyed into the dream when I went in. It wasn't that I was pulled necessarily. It was that I found myself there. It was kind of like a call to action, and then I was there when Albus needed me.
Quick timeout. Jason, I thought logistically we talked about Albus did pull everybody because he was the one rolling. He was sending out or is that wrong? And we did. Who pulled? Who ventured in on their own?
Technically, a combination of both. And by what I mean is, well, I mean, I guess I don't know how much I can say here. You all, there was a third party that helped pull everyone in, but part of that pulling involved you guys basically journeying into it yourselves. Like there was a path that you had to more or less choose to walk, or I should be more specific. You could have outright refused if you'd wanted to, but none of you chose that option. None of you were like, what if I don't want to go? Then I would have been like, then you don't go. None of you said that. So a door was opened. Think of it like this. You were all summoned. None of you refused. Let's put it that way. That's maybe a better way to describe it.
Did it feel to us, like to those who remember, like it was a summoning that we could then choose to go through?
It would have felt more like a doorway opening, and you sort of felt yourself tumble through it. So unless you actively avoided it, you probably wouldn't have basically, it was a series of emotions that sort of cascaded into one another that pulled you into, if you recall, the memory of the feast that you guys all shared. And then you found yourself focusing on Albus and then finding yourself with Albus in his dream. So it was almost like stumbling down a corridor, and none of you pulled the brakes or tried to stop it or anything. You just sort of, as you often do in a dream, went along for the ride to see where you went next, and you all ended up in that final destination.
I don't know if it matters, and I'm piecing this together. It doesn't sound like we all started the dream together, but one way or another wandered in Albus's dream. Is that significant? Did he pull us all in?
I think...
You know, Albus, was that a conscious decision you made?
Probably not consciously, but maybe Yeah, in a subconscious kind of way. Maybe I pulled you guys in just because I was afraid, and I rely on your guys' camaraderie to find strength.
Makes sense. It sounds like we know
I don't know
the
if I
what.
called out to the void for like, Steve,
Right.
come out and help me kind of thing.
It sounds like we know the what, which was Albus was assaulted by curiosity and
Yeah.
pulled us all into the dream.
Yeah.
But
But it wasn't curiosity pulling you guys in. It was me
No.
pulling you in.
It's not curious.
My next
Yeah.
question is,
Mhm.
we don't know the why, or
Yeah.
I suppose the how. We were all pulled in, but I think that's clear.
I will say as well, and this is going to be a weird sensation, and I don't know what you guys could do with it. But as all of you are discussing this topic and trying to remember this dream, around a table, all sharing food together, there is a strange sense of deja vu
Yeah, that's
that is significant to it.
About what
as
I was
well.
going to say.
Because that is so even as you're all sitting here just thinking on it together as a group over a meal, that in itself triggers some sense of deja vu thinking back to this dream.
So
It feels familiar.
before, Steve, you mentioned that when it comes to Folia, actions speak louder than words. I am wondering if this has to do with her and her coven. Because one of the things that she asked about last night ended up essentially manifesting itself into my dream. It was part of the dream that I had before I was summoned or went to help Albus in some way. And I don't honestly know of anybody else who would have the ability to do something like that. The Inquisitors have certain abilities that they can employ, and they've certainly been following Kestrel with experiments and other testing, but this sounds like something beyond anything that they can do. And I don't think it's connected to the Grove, because Kestrel doesn't remember, and Wolf doesn't remember, and it didn't help save Myru. And she had a bond with Myru when she snapped at the brunch a few days ago. So I'm left to wonder what else was introduced recently that could have changed this. And I think that needs to be something we ask Folia this morning when we go see her. It's possible that this is a show of good faith from the Coven that we were able to help Albus in his time of need.
I don't think we can say conclusively that it was her. But I agree as far as leads go, as far as just looking at what's happened and what's changed, certainly the number one option would be that. I think that makes a lot of sense, and we should definitely pull on that thread.
I still have concerns. Assuming that this dream fight was more literal than we thought, what happens if Albus loses? What happens? I think we have a pretty good sense of what happens if Albus loses, but what happens to the rest of us if Albus loses and we're present for it with curiosity in the mix? And there's still the sharp factor in all this, where it's like, I could even, given everything I've seen the last few days, I could even understand being pulled together in some fashion in a dream world. But how in the world the magic was powerful enough to make Sharp do that is something I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around.
Good questions. I suppose it's good we're meeting with her today.
It would be good to know as much as we can before we go to Casimir. On the one hand, if there was a way that we actually helped Albus last night, that gives me some reassurance. On the other hand, I'm worried that this is happening what seems like more frequently as we get him closer there. And that it wasn't even necessarily an effect that happened once that turned all of his people, but that it's an ongoing effect, something in the area, something specific to the region that might still be a threat to Albus if we go there. And Albus, I know it's important, we have to go, I'm not trying to dissuade you, but the more we know before we go there, the better.
Yeah, be quick, but don't rush. The longer we take, the more risk we put ourselves at, but the more we prepare for what we need to be a successful mission. If we go into Casimir unprepared, clearly not understanding the full picture of this at all, we could be walking right into disaster.
I agree with Rosalind as well. I kind of nod to her and go, having a strategy going into this would be far better than going in with no plan, no action, because it seems like they want us to come. And that's worrisome.
If we find we're going to try to help the Tiger folk today, rather than that being a distraction, that could very well be pivotal. We might learn something significant that will help us in Casimir. So I think this thing has just become a necessity.
Agreed.
It's asking a lot of you, Kestrel, but you have agreed to it. You can still change your mind, but now, if anything, we have even more reasons to do so.
I understand. I think we should go, and I have some questions for Folia first. But I'm willing to help and facilitate this questions and assisting the Tiger folk and all that. So yeah, I'm willing to help.
It's like 7 a.m. now.
How long did it take you to make the pancakes?
Yeah, that's really a question.
Really, really long time. They're great, but it did take a while.
2 hours.
The 2 hour.
Had to let the yeast rise, all
I
that
mean,
stuff.
between
slow
making the
cooked
pancakes and the entire conversation and the waking up and where we are now, if we woke up at 5, it's probably 6 now.
Sure.
6:30 maybe.
Yeah, 6:30.
It
Okay.
takes me several hours to cook a normal ass meal for you guys. Come on. I think maybe like 2 hours later is 7.
Okay, it's
We'd
7
say
o'clock.
7, yeah. So
7 a.m.
and we're fed, we're ready, we're rested.
Mm-hmm.
Could we
Yeah.
head over now and see if we can start helping Folia?
Yeah. I'm ready.
You don't sound ready, but I have faith in you.
Oh, that's great. Maybe a few moments to compose myself, but I think I'll be very ready very soon.
Take 2 minutes, no problem.
2. Okay.
Ooh.
Um,
And if they give you a couple minutes, Wolf will actually kind of come over to you, assuming that you don't turn him away.
yeah. I'm open to
turn
that
it-
conversation. I
Okay.
would have had one with him if he hadn't approached me.
Okay. And with kind of no one else immediately around, maybe you guys are outside.
Sure, we step outside.
He just asks. He just is like, so, Kestrel, are you doing okay?
What a question. I'm a little shaken up. I don't remember anything that they're talking about myself, but I've been able to piece together a picture using their own memories and emotions, and from what I remember, I know I was there, but I know that I don't know if I'm ready to go into that dreamscape again today. I had a bit of a nightmare last night, and I know that me and my kin spirit are not exactly we're not in unity right now. We've been at odds for some time, and with the dream I had, and I'm not exactly starting in the right headspace. I don't know.
And he listens to it, but he's sort of, I have never been particularly good with all of this, these spiritual matters, the way that you have been. But I know that unity with our kin spirits is important. It worries me to hear that the two of you have become... Sorry, there's a giant...
He's dead.
You have become cat.
I do
Become
cat.
cat.
No, see, come here. No. He goes, my kin spirit and I are often in alignment. But I cannot say that we have always been. That may be surprising to hear, but there have been times when I was younger that we disagreed on things, on desires, on our goals. As I have gotten older, I have learned to appreciate the wisdom of my kin spirit. There is wisdom in the simplicity. What they know, what they desire, it is what makes us, our people, strong. But so too do we bring a level of intelligence and cunning and knowledge that our kin spirits do not have, and they rely on us for that. I'm sorry I cannot give wisdom like the others, but if you can, you should try to see the strength your kin spirit provides, but also accept its weakness, and then try to make your kin spirit strong yourself.
I hear you, brother. I appreciate you trying, but I do wish that Ursir was here right now, because I know he would have just the right thing to say. And if I must confess, in truth, I'm ashamed of it, but I'm afraid of her. Wolf. She turns me into something that I don't know if I want to be anymore sometimes. That when I'm with her, I've done terrible things. And she's protected me from terrible things in that process, but I don't know if I want to be that anymore. Does that make sense? I know I say something terrible, but it's true.
And he gets a little quiet. He goes, I cannot say that I know the answer. I know what I would have told you before of the strength between you and your kin spirit, but you have proven your own strength in how you do things out here. I think maybe you are mistaken to fear her. I think you fear what makes you truly strong, but I do not have the wisdom or the right to say that you are wrong on these things. Not anymore, not in this place that is so different from our own home. I would just say, I think you are your best when you are with her, when the two of you are together. There's nothing that would make you... You will always be my sister, Kestrel. I will always love you, no matter what you look like or what you do. You'll always be exactly who you are supposed to be. I just want you to be that person. To be The little bird that I love.
What if that little bird isn't a bird anymore and is just a human girl?
And he kind of thinks, and he goes, I will be sad not to see the beautiful bird that I once knew. But I would support you in this, Kestrel, if that is who you felt you should be. But you should be sure. You should be very sure of this. I've seen what you can be, and it is more beautiful than I think you give yourself credit.
It is a lot to think about. But I will. It's too much to think about right now. But I need help, Wolf. I need advice, and I need advice from somebody who knows, who can help me. And I love you with everything that I am. Now I feel you right here. I touch my heart. But I don't know if you can help me with this.
And he nods and he goes, It is not my place to help you in this way. I am here if you need me in battle. Here or in dreams, I guess. But if you wish to fight your way back home to meet with Ursir, I could do that for you. But I suppose I do not have the wisdom here with me.
I know. Maybe I should. I found you once. Maybe I could find him.
And,
maybe somebody else knows. Maybe I trail off.
And he just sort of sits and thinks, and he goes, Well, I think you should just remember that the bond you share with your kin spirit can never truly be broken, Kestrel.
I know.
I know out here it can be confusing, and sometimes it is good to be a little girl or a person, a man like myself, but that is not who we truly are. I hope you can remember this.
I inhale and I say, well, thank you for listening at the very least, even if it doesn't fix the problem, the disconnect that I feel. I will need your support today, I think, though. I don't know in what way, but I would be glad to have you in the spirit lands with me, as well as everybody else. I think I will need them in the way that Albus needed all of us in his dream. I think I will need all of you. So if you will come with me, I think I will be somewhat better of it.
He nods and he goes, Of course, little bird. I'd follow you anywhere. You will always have my support.
Okay. Well, I guess we should be going then.
Yes.
Oh, I will go tell the others that I'm ready.
And he gives you a pat on the back.
Okay. Nice.
And as you walk away, you do notice, maybe, if you want to notice, that he takes a couple moments to sit by himself, and he seems to think about things. Oh, maybe a little look of sadness on his face.
I can note a little bit of it, but, I got my own bullshit going on.
You do have your own bullshit going on. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I head back into the tavern. I don't know what everybody else is doing. You're still chatting, eating your pancakes and shit, and I sort of go, well, I think I'm ready to go now, as ready as I'm gonna be.
Great. I think, not a moment to lose. Let's head over.
Okay. Was there anything that anybody wanted to talk about while Kestrel was out there with Wolf amongst yourselves?
I want to talk
No.
to Steve about the pancakes.
All right.
Here's what you
Just-
could do better, dude. Fucking
Yeah,
raisins,
I-
man.
Wow.
Come on.
I have to give positive criticism. They were good,
Yeah.
but you could do better. No, I want to show admiration for Steve's cooking, and I just want to tell him that it's nice to have had a meal cooked for me instead of the reverse. So I appreciated it. Thank you, especially after the night that I had.
And it's my pleasure. You do so much for us, Albus. There's not just the cooking, but your constant companionship, your sword arm in battle. You're just, I want you to know how much we value you. And, the cooking's the least I could do. So I hope it was good.
It was more than good. It was fantastic. I really appreciate it.
To my ears, thank you.
The raisins were an interesting touch. I've never had raisins in pancakes.
Brings out a little element of sweetness to the cinnamon. I just think it, along with the texture, when you get the right syrup and slathered in butter, it's great.
I thought I wouldn't like it, but I surprisingly did. I look forward to having that again.
I'll make it anytime you want.
Okay.
Great.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.